Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the former MVP, Cam Newton, and the Carolina Panthers, as they'll square off against Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champion, New England Patriots. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
It's a rematch of the 2004 Super Bowl. The Pats and Panthers are underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. A big play there. Taking it in as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Graham Gano on for the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Patriots come out led by the 4-time Super Bowl MVP and owner of a record 6 Super Bowl rings, arguably the greatest to ever play the game, Tom Brady. And we keep asking the same questions every year. How much longer can he keep doing this? Is this the year the dynasty crumbles? And every year, Brady comes out and leads his team to the Super Bowl. They've been there now 3 years in a row, and only one team has made it 4. That's the Buffalo Bills. But remember, they lost all 4 in the early 90s. Going on the ground, it's White. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
On 2nd and 12, Brady, and it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Second tour of duty for Watson with the Patriots. Remember, New England drafted him way back in 2004 out of Northwestern. He retired in the offseason after finishing the campaign with New Orleans, but decided to come back for one more go-around with the Patriots, and they might need him, especially with Rob Gronkowski no longer in uniform. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, here's White. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Going deep here for Edelman. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Here's the offense, and you got to talk about the guy that they nicknamed Bebe, Charles Demaryius Thomas.
You worry about him catching the ball, but you worry more about what he does after the catch. Big, strong, physical. He makes plays downfield.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead. and make plays in the run game.
On fourth down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here are the Panthers now under head coach Ron Rivera. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Cam has all the skills that you're looking for. The arm that can do everything, the ability to run, hard to bring down because of his size. But the joy that he plays the game, I think that's his stock in trade. That's his calling card. That's what sets him apart from other players.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And here now the offense for Carolina.
Wide receiver DJ Moore was drafted first by the Carolina Panthers in order to become their #1 receiver. And after some rocky moments as a rookie, really came on late in the season to become a great dual threat, both as a receiver and as a runner. In fact, quarterback Cam Newton is counting on him to be their top outside threat.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And quickly, let's check out the New England defense.
It's often hard to find holes on teams that win Super Bowls, but the New England Patriots knew that they needed to jump up their pass rush, so they jumped at the chance to add Michael Bennett to their lineup. 3rd in the league since 2014 with quarterback pressures. Had another strong year in 2018 with the Philadelphia Eagles with 9 quarterback sacks.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And he will score. Touchdown. Patriots. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Now Steven Gostkowski on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Kyle Van Noy, the Pats' leading tackler in their Super Bowl run, in on the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Jonathan Jones that time, the one who got a hand in, knocked it away. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So on fourth down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep for New England, Julian Edelman. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. And now out come the Patriots. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
Eric Reed is a safety that you can use all over on defense, both in the box as a tackler and back deep as a cover man.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Brady. Caught by the tight end Watson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Brady gives this to White. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Come on, fellas.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ready? Ready? 52's the mic.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second and 11 now. Newton. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. The shotgun snap for Newton. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first.
Yeah, Greg Olsen's back for his 13th NFL season. The last 9 have been in a Panthers uniform. Only 9 games for him a year ago, 7 the season before due to injuries. But when healthy, a 1,000-yard receiver in 2014, 15, and 16.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over first and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Brady. And this will be incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. Edelman's first catch, and it's good for a first down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
54 Mike.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
On first down, it's White. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Wait, 20!
Crunch time, defense.
Hey, go 66!
They go right back to White here on first down. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 35. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Brady gives to Michelle. Powers through him. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Brady. That's caught by his tight end, Matt Lacoste. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Brady deferring to White on the draw. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Brady now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Now Brady. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal, Patriots now.
Tom Brady on the sneak.
And they will run it with Michelle. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. He'll have a first down past the 40. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Let's go.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Ready? Ready?
52. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, deep. Man up, deep.
Ready?
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All day, every day, any day. 72.
Play action. Now it's Brady. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. They go with White on the counter, and he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
You ain't going nowhere.
Here's Brady. Slant route caught by Edelman. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 14.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Wait, set. Wait, 20. All day. Wait, 28.
They'll run on first down. It's White. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Hey, defense, let's go.
On 2nd and very short, Brady to the goal line, but it's incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, here's Newton. And he's got some space here. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Gostkowski the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Newton. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Devin McCourty picks it off. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Check it, reload!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Brady. And he's got a man, Demaryius Thomas. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw is Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
3rd and long, it's Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Edelman set to return. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Julian Edelman and the rest of the offense back onto the field now. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Brady. And Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Running out of the gun with White. Now White lost the football, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around.
You crazy, boy. You crazy. Wait, that. Ready? Mike 54. Mike 54. I smell.
Throwing on second down. Brady. Then he fires a strike to his big target, Demaryius Thomas.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
New England on third down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Brady. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Brady to his old reliable Edelman, and the Patriots have a first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
The first half update now from Philadelphia. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. On first down, White. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Brady gets away with one. Lucky, could have been intercepted, but it falls to the ground. Ben Watson was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And that will be incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out comes the field goal team once more. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down the middle. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, Newton. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one.
Ready? 180. Mike 50. Let's go, D. Big Sears right here. We got to step it up.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. McCaffrey. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here we go, T. Here I come.
On 2nd and 12, Newton. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers in the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
On 3rd down, Newton. The open man is Smith. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 21. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. Got one. I got one.
Now a shotgun handoff to Scarlett. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Jamie Collins, formerly of the Browns, in on the tackle.
Check 53, Mike. Hey, watch the leg.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Newton. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Alpha.
From the gun, Brady complete to Watson, the tight end. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Now, he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
He's got a man complete. It's Julian Edelman. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Brady now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. They will run with White out of the shotgun. Tackle made by K1 Short.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Brady. That's caught by the tight end, Lacoste. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 38-yard line. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Brady over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Brady now going to leave it with Michel on the draw. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Brady with a hook up to the fellow veteran Watson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That's the way.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Our focus now moving to Dez Bryant as he heads back out there. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Newton. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Newton on first down. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in.
Let's go. Let's do it.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Set. 180. All day, dog.
On the draw, it's Scarlett. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in just a minute. This one of 6 games on this Thursday night as we begin preseason week 3. Teams are going through their dress rehearsals. We'll have 2 games tomorrow, 7 on Saturday, and then we'll wrap it up on Sunday Night Football. Steelers and Titans in the AFC from Nashville. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least 1 more drive, something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Our starters likely to be out there for the 3rd quarter as we get back underway in this second half. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
It's to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Newton. And this one complete to Smith. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
No such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Newton now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. McCaffrey running right, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start to drive with White. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, good for a Panther 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
52's the money. You don't know no better.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
Now on 2nd and 13. Newton, that's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 27-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Kyle Van Noy in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5 now. Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this 3rd quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the 2nd half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Brady. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy because if you let them, what they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beating on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And now Edelman. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The drive starts with a run by White. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Brady now to throw. This is White on the screen. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Ryan Allen now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Panthers coming out now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Offense. The penalty is declined.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. McCaffrey following the penalty. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Newton, he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Right here. That's it. Look at it. 51.
Oh, you got deep?
This is McCaffrey. Dante Hightower on the stop.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Newton. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Newton. And that will be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Muscles him off. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Pats will take over at their own 20. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
18 big yards on that one, and a New England 1st down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep, ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Brady now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. First down, here's White. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the 45 on 2nd down, Brady. He's got Lacoste as tight end. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Brady gives this to White. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. There to stop him was Rashawn Golden.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 2nd and 9, Brady. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Brady. And that is incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed him out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, if there got to be casualties at times, we're trying to win a game.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch time. Tight end right.
From the gun, here's Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Scarlett. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down. Now it's the backup Greer. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
You ready?
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. You got three down.
Ready?
This is Scarlett on the carry. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Got it.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Alert. 3 down. 5.
On 2nd down, here's Greer. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Scarlett, an alley to run, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium, proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Ready up.
Watch tight end.
4 down. Deep rip.
Now the Auburn alum, Artis Payne. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. There with the tackle, Dietrich Wise Jr.
10 over.
2nd and 9.
Tight end left.
Hey. 4 down.
Play action. It's Greer. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They'll run it with Artis Payne. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11th. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Gano's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
It's going to be a long day. Let's go.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Hoyer. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. It's taken to the 26. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. Carolina getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They will start the drive with Scarlett. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now a shotgun handoff to Scarlett. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They begin with Michel on the ground. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for this game.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Michel. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Break. 56, Mike, 56. Hey, pick your game up.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught by the tight end, Lacoste. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 34-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
No gain on this defense, no gain.
They'll run it. This is Michel. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
10-2 stop. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. 34-yard line. Let's go.
Throwing on 2nd down. Hoyer. The tight end Lacoste here out on the right side. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Hoyer now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. Now Michelle. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to said,
the Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They'll run out of the gun with Michelle, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So we've seen this before. He's made 6 already, and now he'll try to become just one of a handful of men to make 7 in a game. This to make it a 3-score game late. Gostkowski's kick is good, and that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So it's a drive that ends in 3, and I know that line sounds familiar. It's because I've said it 7 times now, and that leaves him 1 short of the NFL record of 8 field goals in 1 game.
It has been a lot of settling for 3, but I tell you what, it's nice to know that you have someone this reliable to turn to.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
3 down.
On the draw, it's Scarlett. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down and 4, Greer. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Check. Watch 20. Seal that.
On the handoff, it's Scarlett. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 4th down, Greer. And this is incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Following the penalty, Michel. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Go, 91.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Looking to throw on down. Hoyer. And he fires one incomplete. N'Keal Harry, the rookie, his intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
So here we go. He's made 7. This to tie the record with 8 field goals made in the game. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So chalk up another one. That is 8 field goals in one game, and it ties the late Rob Baronis for the most field goals in one game in NFL history.
Yeah, and in some ways, that's a testament to the futility of your offense. But the reality is, they've needed him in this one, and time again, he's delivered.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 4-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Greer. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down. Greer now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a give here to Scarlett. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Snap.
From the 44, Greer. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Greer. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And he's going to get down near the 30-yard line. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 30.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Let's go now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Single, 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 single. Watch try.
Hit it.
First down, Greer. His throw incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? Seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Greer. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a 4th down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, pass the sticks, 1st down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 tights, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
59. Nice, sweetheart.
Shoot.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 15 yards on that, and New England has a first down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground is Michel. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 41-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 38-yard line.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
60 outlaw.
I'm here all day.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11